In this next step, we're going to actually run Potree. We're going to use the command line to do that. We'll have to go over a few things to get to that point. So the first thing we need to do is find the location, make sure we know the location of our source LAS file that we just created. And we also need to know where Potree is and whether it's installed in the computer. So if you're using computers in the lab, it may be already installed. Look on the secondary drive and look for a folder that says Potree 21, Potree 202. There might be several versions. The most recent version is Potree 2.1. So we have to know where that is. And in our case here, it is on the D drive in a folder called Potree 21. And if we go in there, you'll see it says potreeconverter.exe. Potreeconverter.exe is the program we're going to run. So we need to know where those are before we get into the command line, because we're going to have to type these in. So I'm going to leave this up here. And to get into the command line, we go to the start menu and type in the word CMD. And you'll see it comes up with command prompt. When you click that, it brings up a little black window with some text. And so we're going to, so the easiest way to do this is to just navigate to the folder that contains the Potree converter. At least that's the way so I'm going to go to D:. To use the command line, you have to know some DOS commands. So I'm going to just type in D:, that changes the directory or changes the drive. And then to change folders, you type in CD. So I'm going to type in CD space Potree 21, which is the folder we just saw. And then if we do a directory, dir, that dir shows us what's in that folder. We can see there's potreeconverter.exe. Now to run Potree, we have to have a certain command, and I'll have that in the description of this for this video. But you can always go to the potree.org/gettingstarted.html. It has a sample file. I will have this line here in. So this is the general format. The general format is you type in potreeconverter.exe, then the source file, then -o for the output directory, then the output directory, and then --generate -page will generate a page for us, and we have to put a page name after that. So this is the general format. And I'm going to just copy this. I'm just going to leave it up here, and I'm going to go to command line. We'll just have this here as a reference so we can refer to it. We're already in the folder where the exe file is, so we can just type its name. So Potree converter.exe space, and then we have to find our source folder. This is from our source file. This is from the that we created in the last video, and that is in D export test, and then it's lecture2.las. That's our file. So we're going to go back to the command, and so we want that's D:// export _test /test lecture2.las. Then we want to tell it where to go, so we're going to go -o, and then where do we want this to end up? And so we're gonna do we're gonna put it in the output directory in that folder. So D:// export _test /test /output, and that's going to that tells us what folder to put the output in, and then we also want it to create a page. So we're gonna do dash generate dash page space, and then we'll call this ledger. This will create a page with a .html extension. You don't need to put the HTML extension because it'll just add it. And that's it. We're gonna press enter. And we should see some lines start cropping up. What it's doing here is taking our point cloud, and it is dividing it up into an octree. So it's making different quadrants that are successively smaller. So as you zoom in, it will deliver just the material you need to look at. So I'm going to let this go. It's going to take a long time, probably 20-30 minutes for our 300 million points. I'm going to just let this run, and I'll be back when it's finished. Okay, so that just finished. Let's take a look at what actually happened here, what got created. Let's go to the our test folder in our output. And you can see it has created a few files here. It has created the HTML file and two folders called libs and point clouds. Most of the data is in this octree.bin. This is 10 gigabytes. And so in the next video, we're going to take a look at how to view this on the web server.